Hi here, flying solo. Hope everything is going well for Sheets and his family. Yeah, we're going to get into this slate. It's pretty straightforward as far as I'm concerned. I think that there's a lot of ways we can get different, which we can talk through. I posted my current ownership right now in the premium Discord for those of you who remember. So go ahead and check that out. That gives you an idea of what I'm doing. I also have core play set up for DraftKings and FanDuel. And I'll talk through some of that stuff. I'm not expecting a ton of late news. I guess we still need to know officially about Ben Simmons. But really, that's the one piece that I have as a note. And then obviously starting lineups. We're very speculative on DeLon Wright. Who knows really how much he's going to end up playing. So it is a very speculative play, but I am currently playing him just beneath the projected what the field is going to, but it's going to be 80+% ownership. And you can always switch over if they start Alondas Williams or something, and you'll have enough guys where you can probably switch on to Kane if you need to, like Kane and Jaquez. You could switch over to Robinson and Wright and Jaquez. You could switch over to Robinson and Kane, something like that. So just keep an eye out for, obviously it's a 10 Eastern game, so keep in mind that's going to happen. Please click hit the like button when you get in here. Good to see you, K9. Sheets win 50K. That's not funny, Newton. Just so you know, like Sheets had a really serious thing with his family. I'm sorry. I know you probably didn't know that, but he's got a lot of personal stuff going on. So Sheets wins 50K every week. So it's not like a new thing for him to win 50K. I think over the last 3 weeks, he's won 100K 3 times and 50K once. So the guy's a monster. He's a great player and deserves all the credit in the world. So, okay. Pop in questions and thoughts while I go through my plays. Good to see you as well, MJ. The things that I'm taking stands on are I'm going to be playing I'm just way overweight on this whole Toronto situation, this Toronto-Indiana situation. I know that they're going to be owned, but like Matherin's projected to be owned. Let me see real quick. Actually, you know what? That's one I'd like to get a note on because I did not put him in my build. So I'm going to put this down. Matherin, I'm at 35% on. Halliburton, excuse me. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to read my things. Halliburton, I'm at 39%. Miles Turner, 20%. Siakam, 25%. I have a little bit of Obi Toppin, 4%, and 10% of Nembhard, and 6% of McConnell, just for what it's worth, just to take a weird shot. I'm also going to be overweight the Toronto side, as I mentioned. The one guy I'm kind of underweight on, Barrett tends to play better at home. I also like this matchup for Bruce Brown. So I have 33% of Bruce Brown right now, and I've got Scotty Barnes at 35%, and I've got Kelly Olynyk at 20%, Manuel Quickly at 30%, Podol at 20%, and Gary Trent Jr. at 15%. So just getting well overweight these guys. I want to get some Grady Dick as well. I don't have that much at the moment, but I just really want to be overexposed to this game. Dick is obviously a little bit of a fringy play, but I just my strategy, and especially in the 4-max today, was just to be way just overweight every position in that game. Basically underweight most of the rest of the field. I have 8% of Grimes before that question comes up. I'm not well overweight on it at like other people have suggested. There's so many revenge things you could play today if you want to. Anyway. Pretty much not really on much in the Detroit. I'm just going to share my screen while I'm going through this stuff because it's easier for you guys to follow along, I think. Let's do this. And let's do that. All right. So I'm going, you can see my current exposures. I did force in some Asar Thompson. I'm just going to keep doing that because he's going to have some outlier games. Cade Cunningham on a minutes limit I originally wanted to get more of, but didn't end up going there. And then Quentin Grimes, I just wanted to see where they gave me. It kept me close to 8%. I like the idea of being underweight Grimes, so I'm good with that. On the Knicks side, I didn't get to as many Knicks as I really feel like one of Brunson, DiVincenzo, and Hart. I can't figure out which one, and I also just like so many other plays. As you can see, I'm pretty much near the field on the Knicks, maybe a little bit under on Brunson. And I do like the Precious play as no one's playing it, but I just didn't get there, so I'm going to have to maybe force it into some hand builds. Again, just a lot of plays you can use today. I only ended up with 10% of, or I ended up with 28% of bridges. I don't have any hand builds with bridges, so they're all just going to be in the $4 just because he kept fitting in a price tier. I took some shots on Cam Thomas. Really, this is going to depend on what happens when we finally hear about what's his name, Ben Simmons. You can see I threw in a few percentage points for Ben Simmons, but we'll see. If he doesn't play, I'll bump up all the Brooklyn guys. But that's sort of where I'm at there. This is what I got from my builds after I manually did some things. You see, I'm a little actually basically like with the field or near the field on Memphis, but I decided to go overweight on Santi Aldama just because the ownership felt a little low to me, and I like the idea of zigging on this kind of slate. I also hand built a couple with Luke Kennard, so I actually have a little higher percentage than this. I'll probably be a little bit above the field on him as well. On the Miami side, you can see where I ended up versus the field. It's a tiny bit under on DeLon Wright. Probably going to end up closer to 60 on DeLon Wright, to be honest. And then on Jaime Jaquez, I like the idea of being overweight him because I think he actually ends up a little lower on. His projections aren't quite as good. I'm surprised that Love's projection isn't better, so I decided to try and force in more of him. Got to 33%. Same thing with Robinson, but he's obviously the chalky one. Wanted to be overweight Bam and wanted to be overweight Caleb Martin as well. We've seen this go a bunch of different ways for the Heat in the past. And then again, you get to sort of sort of near the ownership. I went on a very high correlation thing today with my builds. I think I set it at 9 on the SaberSim, and it ended up giving me a lot of game stacks between Toronto, Indiana, and Miami, Sacramento. The one guy I might go back and edit a little bit in for is Herter. I'm not really that interested in Sabonis. You can see I've got him at 5%. Just I didn't want to have 0 on this slate. Malik Monk. I'm underweight, but I like the play, if that makes sense. Too many other things came up in the price range that I didn't end up getting there. I got to Keegan Murray in a lot of my hand builds, so I'm actually going to end up probably above that 20%, probably closer to like 30, 35%. De'Aaron Fox likely ends up closer to 30% for me as well. I just am going to have to make some changes on some of the other guys. All right, so Kane, I know I'm not playing FanDuel. I did put up a core over there. I hated the tournament, so I'm not going to play there. Good to see you, Nick. What do we do with Miami? A ton of guys out. I just told you all of it. Thoughts on Alondas Williams, or is that a dart throw? I did touch on that one. I forced him in by hand. I literally couldn't get SaberSim to put him in a build. So I ended up, right now, I've got 7% of Alondas Williams just because I'm going to use that as an exact pivot. So I don't mind that idea of getting different. No one's going to do it. But the problem is if he somehow ends up starting, it's the easiest pivot in the world. Just you switch over from Wright to him. So I actually would stick with DeLon Wright if Williams starts. So it's kind of a strange situation because I would like to get off of what's going to then become the chalk, whoever does start for Miami, obviously. Favorite stud to spend up on is Scotty Barnes and Halliburton. You can see I think the ownership on Halliburton is too low. I'm going to end up near double on Halliburton. So he's my favorite spend up for sure. Do you have to mess with the min unique after you build? Do I ever mess with the min unique after I build? Yeah, I tend to set it around 2. I tend to set it at 2. Occasionally I'll try it with 1 and 3 and see what kind of builds I like that it gets me in accordance with the ownership that I project, that I put my min exposure out there for. So I force it to sort of try and do it my way, but while still giving a little bit of the SaberSim way for what it's worth. And by the way, we are still waiting on Jalen Smith, which is, pretty relevant news. So obviously hope to have that before lock, which obviously we will because that's the first game, unless they do that late. Did I miss the news on it? No, don't have it yet. But don't have the official word on that one yet. So waiting on that. Nick saying, what's going on with our Lakers? I honestly haven't paid attention to the Lakers. I'll state what I said. The Lakers are not a very good basketball team. I was right this year. I've been right pretty much every year LeBron's been there. The only year I was high on them was the bubble year. And I guess last year they made the run, but to be honest, you beat a Memphis team without Ja. I don't think this team is all that much of anything, the Lakers team. So I'm not expecting a lot, nor am I all that upset. This has been the least fun team I've ever rooted for. I've liked losing teams better than this Laker team. I really have a hard time turning them on. I prefer watching the Clippers. I obviously am a Laker fan, so at the end of the day, I want them to win. But it is not. I don't like this Laker team at all, to be honest with you. any pretty much at all. I like the way AD's played this year. I'll give him that. I hate what LeBron does to franchises. I don't care. They're very fortunate in Miami that they're the best run organization because he was ready to turn them into dust as well if they weren't Miami. Anyway, all right. Jalen Smith is available. Thank you, Brennan. Good piece of news. So again, Jalen Smith available. That means we don't have to do anything more in Indiana. Yeah, I think Fox is totally a good, like a legitimately like good run back. But it's not like a good situation. Miami always defends the point guard well, regardless of who's in the game. They just always do. But he's 8,300. So, yes, you're going to get to some Fox. I mean, I'm looking – I ended up near the field just because I like a lot of other plays, right? I ended up at 23%, and the field has him basically exactly with the field right now. So that's where I'm at. Anyway, thanks, Nick. It's been a little, honestly, a very, very rough week, and I appreciate the distraction of having the DFS side of this, but really happy to have just a 4-gamer to take it easy because it's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of personal stuff going on for the whole TrueDFS fam. So let's get some run good in our personal lives, and then secondary, I would like to win at DFS as well, but I would like for you guys to win at DFS. You guys get the run good in DFS. I'll take the run good at life. I'll go that way for the next little bit or so. Although we do have the millionaire coming up, I think isn't it on Wednesday? Is it on Wednesday? That should be a fun one. If we get Sheets back and he's in the mood to distract himself, it would be really fun if he joined us there. Let's just see real quick. It doesn't look They kept saying the February, so it's got to be on Wednesday, right? They just must not have put it up there yet. Seems like a strange choice. Anyway, I think we have the one more millionaire this month. I'm not sure. I'm Nick Nurse's alter ego. I don't know how much of an insult that is. I know it's probably an insult, but I don't really understand what it's in reference to be honest. So I like Nick Nurse. So I guess maybe it's not an insult. I like Nick Nurse. Yeah, absolutely. No, winning will help the personal lives, but it's not going to help enough to it can't cure the C word. So that is what it is. Okay, Newton, that I know is an insult, so I'll take that one. I'll just throw that away then. But that's okay. I don't mind. Again, I like the guy, so I don't care that I'm getting, I think, insulted. I'm still not entirely sure whether that's an insult. I'm pretty sure it is. All right, guys. Any other questions to go through before we get out of here? Happy to go through anything else with you. I don't really have a whole lot more to offer as far as the slate's concerned. It's a 4-gamer, very manageable. We know what the shiftings are. Like I said, this is going to be a weird week for me because I've got a lot of personal things to take care of myself as well, and Sheets does as well. But I am always in the Discord in between saying what I'm doing with my lineup, so I'm not going to stop doing that. Hopefully it'll have a little better results after a little bit of a rocky start after the All-Star break. I want to just mention real quick, I'm a little tilted by the Friday's tournament. I had McCollum who got injured in what did he play? 12 minutes? 10 minutes? 10 minutes, I think he played. So McCollum gets injured in 10 minutes. Butler has 50 and a half and he's got the double-double coming and potentially a triple-double with almost 8 minutes left to go in a tight game. He gets ejected. And I still like almost cashed. I had the nuts everywhere else pretty much. So that was a little bit tilting. I think I needed 40 something fantasy points to win the tournament from where I was. Now, some of those other people might have had Butler, but I think a couple of them did. But I think it was like still going to be around 50 points to probably win the tournament. And it's just kind of tilting between those two. I think that could have gotten 10 to 15 more out of Butler, and it could have potentially gotten, out of a good game, 35 more. He had 43 the night before, so I don't know why TJ couldn't have done it again. Anyway, just a little mini tilt when things aren't going well. Thanks, Remo. I appreciate that, buddy. I'll run a build for you. Absolutely. I just ran my build before. So my build's going to look a little weird. So let me reset everything because I loaded mine already, but let's reset all the exposures. Reset all player exposures. There we go. We're gonna run a Saber sim. Here we go. So, and to answer Jimmy's question, yes, I have 22% triple J for what it's worth. So I think that there's an argument you could go much higher, and there's an argument you could fade him. So I ended up sort of with the field. I actually think I have 26% of them. Excuse me. Yes, we're gonna run a build. Let's see what we're gonna do. Let's do 140 lineups. Why not? And let's do, I like the, I went 10 on correlation. I went on small slates, especially where I like 2 games specifically. And I actually kind of like the Brooklyn-Memphis one a little bit, as a potential game that could stay close and maybe you get some pieces. So I want to be high on correlation on slates like this. On the 10, 12, 14 gamers, the only reason I like to go a little higher than most people do on correlation is because others don't. But in general, I don't necessarily think it's the right way to script a build. There's an update on projections. So I show you one. Let's do that. I don't really know what there would be to update. There's nothing's happened. It's really just more speculation that we've gotten used to. Okay, let's see the value. Let's see. And then, wait, where did I? There we go. We did reset them in, and let's reset them. Wait, we have to reset the max to reset all player exposure. There we go. All right. So yeah, I think so I am going to be in any of my hand builds. I don't have any RJ Barrett, even though I'm heavy on that game. He's the one piece I'm choosing to try to avoid and try to play more Trent and Bruce Brown. That's just what I'm doing. Barrett's always been a player who plays better at home in general, and I like the little Bruce Brown revenge narrative. You always can, you've got always potential foul trouble with any of the starters. Bruce Brown gets a bunch of more minutes. So also Kelly O could see some minutes as well. I think this game is just one where you want to be overweight everybody, but I did go underweight Barrett as he was the one who was getting the most love with the projection. So I decided to go a little bit elsewhere. All right, so let's see. We're going to go this. Can I adjust prices on SaberSim so you can run lineups for non-draft? No, you can't do that. That's not a, why would you, how could you, oh, you mean if you, so no, you could do it for whatever site you're on, but we're only playing on, I only ever talk to DraftKings and FanDuel because I don't touch any other sites. So let's run the lineups here. See 140. I'm going very high on correlation today. Maybe 9's a bit aggressive for some of you guys, so we'll do that. Do you want to do the one? Should we do 140, guys, or do you want to? Yeah, let's see what it gets us for 140. Why not? Let's see what else we have. I have contest sim settings. Let's put this in the. So right now I've got it set for, and we're going to keep that up for the $4. Oh no, we have it for the fadeaway. Let's do it for the $4. We want more variance. All right, where am I looking? I'm so not used to this tournament being for 100K, this $4 ridiculousness. I'd be really surprised if someone takes it on their own today. I think leaving some money on the table is certainly a viable option in that. I did set a wide range, 48,000 to 50K. In pricing, let's see, where the hell is this? Sorry, guys. This is not, why am I having the mini max 10K? That's not it. Rainmaker. There we go. Okay, geez. It's right in front of me, too, the whole time. All right, let's do the build. And, I have to adjust something. So what we're going to do is something very basic you can do if you want to basically run the same projection. Just do this. Just actually, instead of doing that, do the minutes. I'm not going to adjust. No, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to put 25, 28, and then we run the build and see what SaberSim says. All right, waiting. All right, taking a little longer than I would have thought. I should have run only 2,000. Oh, I did only run 2,000. I didn't run 5,000. I tend to like to keep it with the less number of sims sometimes. It's more just because I just want to do something a little bit different than what other people are doing if I'm going to use this stuff. And I don't usually use it, but when you're doing the $4 tournament for 100K, it's hard not to have some interest in it. So let's see what it gets you that's maybe a little bit interesting. And SaberSim will go hard to the paint with what they feel is right. So let's see what they've got. They win 100% DeLon Wright exposure, 70% Barrett almost. So they're differing from me, obviously, on that one. Matherin 50%. Oh, they went high on Scotty Barnes and see. So they're also saying that Scotty Barnes and Halliburton are too low owned. I agree with that. I like getting overweight those guys. They went very high on GG Jackson. Kind of open to that idea. It's an interesting one. I have to think about that a little bit more. Jackson versus Matherin keeps you out of that. There seem to be well under on the Heat, on a lot of the Heat. They have Bam and DeLon And other than that, you don't get down till Duncan Robinson down here. Where is he at though? Ownership, or where do they have 24%? Yeah, so they're a little underweight, these Heat guys that I am, and that's a way that they're getting different. Let's see the flagship ownership versus exposure. So yeah, underweight Grimes, underweight Brunson, underweight Hawkes, overweight Kennard, underweight Bridges. I'm just trying to see what Harrison Barnes overweight. That makes a little bit of sense. Schroeder, who's starting to get a little bit more overlooked, who I was going to play out of like forcing too early in the day. And now I'm thinking about changing it up. A little higher on Zaire than I am myself. Josh Hart. I love the job. I really do like these Knicks. I just don't know how much. I mean, I hate saying that even. Maybe you pretend that Knicks game is close and just force in, it's funny because I wouldn't mind if you just wanted to play just any one of the main four for the Knicks. I don't know. I'm not getting, I didn't get to it in my builds for some reason. So not taking any, you see that what they're doing, even in the $4, the first sub 10% guy, they've got 15% of Kennard, who's basically 10% owned anyway. But really not taking a major stand on anybody sub 10%. Interesting. I would have thought that it would spit out a little bit more than that. I do like Triple J. I like him a lot, and I think that he's going to be really popular, and I think he's a good play who has a ton of bust paths. So I am not using him in my main build right now, but I have no issue if you want to. Guys, please smash the like button. We appreciate it. I know it's kind of a lame little slate tonight. We really want to keep doing these videos for free. And hey, look, if we in order to do them for free, we need you guys to hit the like button. So please keep doing it for us so we can keep doing that. If there's no other questions, I am going to get to finishing my builds. I don't think there's a whole lot more to go over, but I appreciate all of you for being here and all the support. It's been you guys are a great group of guys, and everybody's been really, really, really nice about everything that's going on for between Cheats and I. So much appreciated. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful night. Good luck to you guys, and let's crush it.